Here's one simple fact that you never hear about in the media. If you have 1 million people watching a show with a well-researched piece of investigative journalism, and 1 million people watching a show with totally made-up conspiracy theories, both shows could be making about the same amount of money from advertising. There's a famous saying that goes like this: you can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. Now, this phrase used to mean that lying in deceit is terribly short-sighted and should be avoided, since eventually you get exposed. These days, however, you can fool some of the people all the time became a business model for too many people. They think that fooling some people all the time is a great and consistent source of income. And that's the problem with the current rating-based business model for content. It doesn't matter if the content is truthful or accurate, as long as people watch it, as long as the show has ratings, it will make money from advertising. But what's easier to produce? What takes less money, effort, and time? You need to spend a lot of money to produce a show with well-researched, fact-based content. With the same money, you can probably produce 100 shows with totally made-up garbage that just sounds real. Not only that, but producing garbage is clearly the more profitable path. The math here is very straightforward. If you produce 100 shows with made-up claims instead of one well-researched, fact-based show, and each of these shows gets the same rating as the one high-quality show, then you'd be making a lot more money. So as long as you can fool some of the people all the time, you'd be very successful. And that is the problem with media and the internet today. Since ratings are the only thing that matters, since that's how you make money, the current business model rewards lies and deceit and penalizes hard work and honesty. And this is true not just in the very extreme cases of obvious charlatans who are out there to make money by spreading conspiracy theories and lies. It's true even for people who are trying to make money the honest way. Think of the reporters, authors, and other content creators who sometimes don't really have something of value to say, but still need to meet deadlines for a publication, fill a quota of text, or provide another headline for an online magazine. Since the only thing that matters is ratings and clicks, it pays to cut corners. It pays to regurgitate unsubstantiated opinions. It pays to write poorly researched articles or make predictions without much care or knowledge of the subject. That's just how the current ratings-based system works. So if for every piece of well-researched, high-quality content in the media or in the internet you have 2, 5, 10, or 100 pieces of made-up or low-quality content, it's easy to see why the ratings-based business model is totally broken. You simply can't expect reasonable people to have to dig through piles of garbage to get to a bit of truth. Is there any wonder then that we have a crisis of trust in the media? If we want to restore trust in the media and don't want to dig through piles of misinformation and low-quality content to get to the facts, we need to change the ratings-based business model for content to a business model that is based on high-quality, reliable content. This is what the new internet platform offers. To find out more, see our other videos in this channel.